come back to Helper Dad. This guide will walk you through the process of disabling the SentinelOne agent on your system. It's important to remember that you'll need administrative privileges on the endpoint, meaning you'll need to have the rights to make significant changes to the computer settings. Keep in mind that disabling the agent only temporarily suspends the protection it offers. If you want to completely remove SentinelOne, you'll need to uninstall it. Before you go any further, please take a moment to consider your organization's security policies and ensure that disabling the agent aligns with those guidelines. Disable the SentinelOne agent. The easiest method for individual endpoints is to use local agent management through the GUI. First, locate the SentinelOne icon in your system tray, typically found near the clock, and right-click on it. Then select SentinelOne Agent or a similarly named option to open the agent interface. Keep in mind that authentication may be required at this stage, potentially asking for administrator credentials. If you don't have these, please consult your IT department. Once you're in, look for a Disable or Turn Off Protection button or switch and click it to disable the agent. A confirmation prompt may appear, so be sure to confirm the action. Finally, you can verify that the agent is disabled by looking at the SentinelOne icon in the system tray, which will change to indicate its disabled state, perhaps with a different color or an X overlay. The agent interface will also usually display a message confirming that protection is now disabled. Let's look at how to disable the SentinelOne agent using the Management Console, which is ideal for administrators overseeing multiple endpoints. First, open your web browser and navigate to the SentinelOne Management Console URL provided by your organization, then log in using your administrator credentials. Once you're in, navigate to the Devices or Endpoints section and search for the specific endpoint or endpoints you want to disable. You can use filters or groups to narrow down your list if needed. After selecting the endpoint or endpoints, find the Actions or More menu and choose the Disable Agent option or whatever similar option is available, then confirm your action. Finally, check the endpoint status in the console to ensure it reflects that the agent is disabled, and allow some time for the change to propagate to the endpoint. Let's move on to the command line interface, or CLI, which is a more advanced method useful for scripting or remote management. Keep in mind that specific commands can vary by operating system. To begin, you'll need to open the command prompt or terminal as an administrator. If you're on Windows, open Command Prompt and be sure to select Run as Administrator. On macOS or Linux, open the terminal and use the sudo command if it's necessary for elevated privileges. Next, you'll execute the disable command. Remember that the exact command varies based on your operating system and the version of SentinelOne you're running. For example, on Windows, it might be sentinelctl.exe deactivate, and on macOS, it could look like sudo/application/sentinelagent.app/contents/macOS/sentinelagent deactivate. Always consult the SentinelOne documentation to get the precise command you need. You may also need to authenticate the command, so it might require an administrator password or an API key. Finally, always verify that the command was successful by checking the output for confirmation messages and by verifying the agent status through other methods, such as the GUI or the Management Console. Let's move on to troubleshooting. You may encounter common issues, so let's look at some solutions. First, insufficient permissions. Make sure that you are using an account with administrative privileges and always run your command line tools as administrator. Second, password prompts. Verify that you have the correct administrator password, and if you have forgotten it, be sure to consult your IT department. Third, if your agent is not responding, try restarting the SentinelOne agent service, or if that doesn't work, try restarting the entire computer. Also, Check to make sure that you don't have any internet connectivity issues. Finally, your organization may have policy restrictions in place that prevent disabling the agent. If this is the case, you will need to contact your IT department for assistance. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Help or Dad. Disabling the SentinelOne agent should really only be done when absolutely necessary, and always make sure you have the proper authorization before proceeding. It's crucial to remember to re-enable your system's protection as quickly as you possibly can. And if you're ever unsure about any part of this process, or if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact your IT department for assistance.